Yeah, hold on. Ooh, that boy a critic, he just talk about it. Ooh, that boy a critic, yeah, he talk too much. Ooh, that boy a critic, he just talk about it. Ooh, that boy a critic, he just talk too much. Ooh, that boy a critic, he just talk it, he don't live it. Ooh, that boy a critic. Ooh, that boy a critic. Ooh, that boy a critic, he just talk it, he don't live it. Ooh, that boy a critic. Yeah, I know.
You see what's going on. You see what's going on. I'm with the man, the myth, the legend.
Big love, big blessings, even bigger living. Everything that come with it, everything in between. You are tuned in to Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David. It's just a conversation. Listen, got a real special guest today.
Uh-oh.
This guy's one of my brothers. In real life, this is my nigga, man. This is my guy, one of my loved ones. He is not only a stand-up comedian who is funny as hell. It's been dope to watch his growth as he's gotten going crazy with this thing, but he's also an actor, right?
Yes.
You can catch him in Unsurety, PPP Loan, but then he takes this acting thing to another level as he participates in various stage plays and live acting in Canaan, Raisin in the Sun, and Memphis.
Come on.
Loved ones.
Come on.
Please give a warm welcome to my brother Kiwan Moses. What's up, baby?
What's
Good
up,
morning.
man?
How's your spirit?
I woke up this morning. You know what I mean? So I can't complain. Like, the alternative wouldn't have been nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? So,
Come on, man. That's my favorite thing to tell people. Hey, I woke up this morning.
yeah.
Because, a lot of times you ask people how you doing, they come with the bad news.
And they actually tell you how they doing.
Which is, I appreciate that.
Because that's real.
But once I tell you I woke up this morning, come on, man.
Finito. You ain't got nothing more to say. You like, yeah, I did that too.
You feel me?
So you know what I mean? Yeah.
Listen, it's beautiful to have a comedian. You're the first comedian. Oh, can I say the first actor I've had? I think you might be the first. No, I've had Flim's done some acting as well. But you're the first comedian I've had on.
It's an honor, man. It's an honor and pleasure, man.
It's the honor on my side.
And and this guy, he's too humble. You know what I mean? Like he's way too humble for himself. I feel real presidential and exclusive right now. Not just me being who I am and being this my fellow brother in Christ. It's my man, Pots and Pans. We've been locked in for years. But today is Samuel David Thompson's birthday. Today is this man's birthday. You know what I mean? And I'm an Aquarius, and I'm healing with my selfishness.
Okay.
So I don't know if I would have opened up to like an outlet on my platform on my day. So for this man to be selfless enough to take time out of his day to interview me on his birthday is like it's an honor and a pleasure, brother. I didn't know that today was your day until shout out to social media. Giving me the reminder, and Facebook already giving me like a template. It's putting like all of our pictures together and everything. So I'll be able to add this to my birthday post. So for you to give me my time, your time, and I tell people as a comedian and just what I know just about life, I value time more than money. That's the most valuable currency
100.
Because I could waste my money, I could get robbed, whatever, lose my money, but I can make that money back.
Yeah.
But time, you can't get that back. So if anybody taking time out of their day for you, you got to hold high prestige and value for them and what they doing, because that you can't get that back.
Wow.
So,
Wow, that's how we starting?
Yeah.
That's how we starting?
We starting off with the real.
I love it.
We starting off with the real.
Man. When you get an opportunity to make things happen. I think that's also just the real sign of Virgo season, man. Grind don't stop.
It don't.
Work. Before we get going too far, I got to give a huge shout out to my dog Marquise Wilson with Forever Imminent. You see the shirt? He just launched his brand new business. It's an apparel line, and he highlights a lot of Chicago gear. So this joint I got on right now, it's got a lot of signatures from the Chicago Bulls. It's pretty lit. So I had to give him a quick shout out.
I need to tap in. Black on?
Come on.
I mean, that would have been funny if it was a white Marquise.
Right, like a white Marquise. Like that would have been crazy.
Nah, but yeah, shout out
Like
Marquise.
An Asian Jose.
Yeah, they out here though.
Listen, man, I got a lot I want to talk to you about.
Oh,
boy.
I
come with my list of questions.
He got his temper. He was like, anything off limits? I was like, no Isaiah Thompson questions, please. No Isaiah Thomas questions.
And what's even funnier though is I got this list. As you mentioned, it's my birthday, so my list is gonna be getting interrupted because people calling me, texting me, wishing happy birthday. So I got the phone on silent
Already.
But man, I gotta, I like to start off soft. I ain't gonna go too hard on you from the jump. Pause.
Oh, shit.
But it's gonna get. We gonna go there.
Okay.
I like to go there. It's about real conversation.
For sure.
So you're a comedian, obviously.
To the core.
Why did you choose comedy as your outlet, as your passion, as your thing? Did you choose it or did it choose you?
I chose it, and it kind of chose me for real. I was seduced. It's like, are you a Star Wars fan? You follow Star Wars?
I ain't been too much. I ain't never seen the episodes, but I do watch like The Mandalorian.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that. The Disney Plus joints.
I'm a nerd, like exponentially. That's a nerd word. People don't use exponentially. But when they describe Anakin and him becoming Darth Vader, him turning to the dark side, they say he got seduced by the dark side. Like it was seduced because it was something real enticing about him wanting to do that compared to what he was doing. And I say I was definitely seduced by comedy.
Okay.
For sure. At a very early age. And I use the parallel and metaphor and analogy to, y'all remember the first time you started watching porn. You know what I mean? You didn't necessarily choose porn. It may have shows you depending on what video that you seen. You like, oh, okay, it made you feel some type of way, and you were seduced by that, and you're like, you just kept. Everybody got their bookmarks and incognito pages and tabs. You know what I mean?
Keep it real. Okay, I see you.
I use that. You know what I mean? Like, you like what you like. I'm not sure, but you know, you got your own selection. You know what I mean? You got your own secret compartment. You got it timed down to a science. Baby, get off in 45 minutes and 30. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Oh, word.
When I was a kid, 4 or 5 years old, because I'm a 90s baby, 94 in the building.
Yeah.
You 87?
87, oh yeah.
I got much love for the 80s babies.
Yeah.
80s.
I'm born in the 80s, but I'm a 90s baby. I don't remember shit about the 80s.
Yeah.
You know?
He knows the 90s better than I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
When I was 4 years old in 98, 99, Chris Rock, who's in my comedy Mount Rushmore, I'm sure we're going to get into that.
For sure.
He had a late night TV show, the Chris Rock Show on HBO.
Yeah.
Came on, I'll never forget it to this day, 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Okay.
And coincidentally, that was my bedtime. And my parents made that time specifically. And me just paying attention, why I gotta go at 10:30?
Yeah.
That's when the Chris Rock Show came on.
And they were watching the Chris Rock
And
show.
they was like, for one, that's our thing.
Okay.
And for two, you can't be watching the Chris Rock Show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? I was like, I want to watch the Chris Rock Show. You know, you want what you can't have. So I would sneak in the hallway nights and nights and nights on end and just listen to hours and hours and hours of this show and this brilliance and Chris Rock and the power that he had. You could hear the crowd. You could hear the guests coming and the platform he had and the respect he had. And my parents were polar opposites. So for something to bring them together, and it seemed like time kind of stood still, and I recognized the power of that comedy at a very young age. And ever since then, I tucked that in my spirit, if you will. And when I got the opportunity to do it, I was 17, turning 18 for Botillion. I ain't really stopped. Since.
That's fire, man. That's loaded. That's loaded with a lot, right?
Yeah.
The Chris Rock show. He had like, was it a host? He was a host and he had guests on there, or was it like skits? I remember, but
It was a combination.
Okay.
It was a combination. He would host an interview and have musical guests. Like my favorite one is where he interviews Bernie Mac and he has Jill Scott as the musical guest. This is like the beginning. Is It the Way? Jill Scott, where she didn't have a perm, where it was rough.
Word, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, and this is back in the day. So yeah, he would do that, and he would do skits.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire, man. So your love for comedy essentially came from seeing your parents' love for each other and being able to bridge the gap. You know, because my next question really was, what trauma or what drama in your life sparked? Because you look at comedians, a lot of times it'd be the saddest, hurt, most depressed folks that bring their life to light through the comedy, right? But yours was through love. That's kind of lit, bro. That's like some, what do you call it? That's like some poetic type shit.
Yeah, man.
I like to hear that. So even with that, was there any like trauma associated or drama in your life that was like, yo, I got to get this off my chest? Or did comedy just come from like, okay, I see what it did there. I want to do the same thing for people?
It was a combination of both, for sure. There's a lot of traumatic experiences. Like I was saying with my parents, they were completely opposite. So, of course, there's going to be creative differences.
100%.
You know what I mean? Where people are completely opposite sides of the fence.
Yeah.
And, we big on astrology and zodiac. My mom was a love hard, big-hearted Aquarius. I mean, excuse me, I'm an Aquarius. She's an Aries. I'm sorry. My mom is an Aries. Fire, passion, big love, big heart, Aries, all day, and showcasing her love. My pops is a Capricorn,
I don't know much about Capricorns.
and they a trip. It's the
I said they a trip.
the Capricorn is the goat and the fish at the same time. So there's a duality of them, and they can be really detached, really aloof, really cold, and they leave a lot of things going without being said.
Okay.
Those kind of
Still
people.
gotta be explained type.
Yeah. What's understood ain't got to be explained type of people. And depending on what they've been through, they can be pretty cold and removed. And so I had a nice combination of both. My mom was the fiery, passionate, present, big love Aries, and my pops was completely the opposite. So opposites attract.
Opposites attract, man.
And when you saw that disconnect a lot, I noticed comedy was one of the major underlying things that they could always put aside whatever they dealing with. They could come together. They were both fans. They could both appreciate different nuances about comedic elements.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that. That was able to transcend past whatever issues they were going through, or what I noticed with other people too. I noticed how it would bring people together, like people from all different walks of life, black, white, Asian, atheists, diehard Christians,
the whole shebang.
Everybody. So it's a lot of trauma in it, but once you're able to look at it from that different lens, that comedy is the illest tool you can have in the world, because if you can look at something comedically in the darkest time, that'll give you the persistence to go through it. To get through it and take the gems out of it.
It's a lot of gems in comedy.
It's a lot of gems.
It's a lot of gems in comedy, man. One of my favorite comedian of all times is Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Virgo brother. And I think he's transcended past being a comedian into just an observationalist, right, of the world. But I definitely see where he came under fire for his thoughts, his comments, his commentary on different folks, right, from the LGBTQ plus community to the white folks, just the whole shebang, right?
Yeah.
And something I see a lot of comedians talk about is it's like it goes both ways. You have some that are like, comedy, nothing is off limits, right? Like if I can see something and bring it to light, then nothing's off limits. Some are like, yo, we are now in a culture where we recognize how our words impact other people much heavier, right? I don't think that was there before. Before you could really get off saying some shit without nobody having nothing ill to say.
And before having the tool of social media.
Yeah. So as a comedian, as a stand-up comedian, right? Because you don't do a lot of skits.
No.
You exercise the acting side more.
Exercise the acting side, and I definitely dabble in the skits like on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm getting out of my comfort zone on that. The only reason why I don't do more skits is because of me. It's just a matter of me being in my own way.
That's fair.
But I got tons of ideas.
You got drafts.
Tons of rough drafts.
Yeah.
And I got a few already on a couple bits of social media. Some of y'all may have seen a couple, some may not. But as soon as I get out of my own way, so if you could send a couple prayers up for me, for God to come get me from me. Yeah. His name is Samuel David. My last name is Moses. We in a previous life, you know what I mean? But we was doing big stepping things in the Bible at some point. But yeah, that's my biggest thing is me. That's my biggest obstacle is me. But more skits are definitely on the way.
Okay.
I can't guarantee you that. But yeah, I'm sorry.
No, so I digress. It's a conversation. We're just thinking out loud. I do a lot of digression. That's what I do. It's just Jesus spoke in parables. So, but
facts.
Before I was digressing, what I'm looking at, right, is just that those two sides of the coin. As a comedian, especially doing stand-up, especially in front of people live, do you find any topic off limits in your joking, or is it like, yo, I want to shed light and share my experience in this space?
I don't feel that anything is off limits. I don't feel anything is off limits because the First Amendment is freedom of speech.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I could say whatever I want to say, but that this is why the Second Amendment is the is right there. This is why the Second Amendment is right there, because it can get you in some shit. 100%. But we gonna get deep. We gonna get deep.
And I love swimming.
What I gotta let y'all know about comedians is that most comedians are some of the smartest individuals you gonna know. And I'm not being vain. I ain't being narcissistic. You gotta be smart to be able to analyze the comedic element between things and to find the funny in things because it ain't easy.
Yeah.
Two things that I pride myself on and what I try to lead my life on is one being empathy. Being empathetic to a person. Ladies, you know, when y'all watch them like criminal justice, like murder mystery, First 48, Lifetime,
First 48, okay.
or like the murder mystery joints, you know how women can like binge watch those things?
Yeah.
Empathy definitely plays a part because they trying to understand what would be the motive, what would push you, what would possess you, what like how could you do something like that?
Yeah.
I use murder as like the craziest example.
Okay,
But
that's on that side. I'm with you. I follow you.
But empathy allows you to understand people and things a whole lot deeper. So I try to live my life off empathy. And the second, accountability.
Okay. That's my like mantra in life. I can understand where you're coming from, and at the
Empathy?
same time challenge you to do better
Boom.
in the most respectful way.
I understand empathy and then that accountability. Boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So going back to what you're saying, nothing is off limits. But on March 27, 2022 at the Academy Awards where Chris Rock, my man, my OG, my Mount Rushmore got the taste slapped out of him for using his words, exercising his First Amendment.
Yeah.
And as you can see, you don't know what people dealing with.
That's the part. That's the real thing as well.
You don't know what people dealing with. You don't know what walk of life. You don't know how close they are to snapping. And your words can be the straw that break the camel's back. And I really think that that's kind of what that was in that element. That definitely played a huge part. I got material in that I'm working out that's going very well.
Okay.
But yeah, accountability is major. So me watching two of my father figures, if I'm being real, Chris Rock and Will Smith, two of my father figures on stage, and this shit is happening. Crowd work. If you've been to my shows, Samuel David has been to a lot of my shows and been a part of a lot of my shows. And we have a new rule whatever show he's a part of, he's not allowed to be on my show and not perform Word to Life.
I like that.
The last song on Sound Advice. I'm a real fan out
take
here.
Over the show. It's your work.
I'm sorry. We established a new rule because he did one of my shows and he didn't perform Word to Life. Now, granted, we didn't discuss this prior to.
Yeah.
But if you're familiar with my man, you're familiar with his material and his artistry, Word to Life is an incredible song. It's like 3 stories broken down. His complete transparency. Those is my You Must Love Me. That was your You Must Love Me joints.
Definitely.
Right there.
Definitely.
And just another plug.
I'm just listening. Listen, I'm gonna shut up most of this interview and I'm gonna just listen to Keywan talk.
I'm a real fan. You know what I mean? I've been here,
been
day one. You know what I mean? Since Cadillac on 4 Flats. Like, the EP was the Fireworkers Mom Ray Chardonnay. Was that EP or LP?
That was my right EP.
EP.
Yeah.
Those were all on my replay 2021 for top played joints. All 5 of them joints is in there, along with Kiss and Hove and Fab and all those people.
Great.
So great, yeah, absolutely great company. So going back to those things, all of those encompass the right elements. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's funny you even speak on that, right? Because for those who may not know, who may not be tapped into the music, Sound Advice was an album that dropped during the pandemic, based on real life situations and scenarios.
Come on.
Mine Right dropped after Sound Advice.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just my music. I won't say I try my hardest. My music is intentional, like where I'm at in life and what I'm dealing with, what I'm going through. I like to say I have to go through it, record it before I give it to y'all. As a comedian, because you don't see too many comedians tell like knock jokes. Like, right? You either have some that are observationally funny or some that share their story of life and find humor in that, right? In the same way, as a musician may as well. How often do you find the balance between, observational comedy versus, okay, this is what I'm going through in real life, and let me share with y'all so y'all can laugh at my shit.
How
How do you
often
find that balance?
how do I find that balance? Is knowing your audience, reading the room, talking to people. You know what I mean? And you get to knowing different, because as an artist, you got to be the best artist, you got to know different genres.
Factual.
You got to know different expressions, different types of artistry. Same way with comedy. I'm a student in this, so I go all the way back. I study like Charlie Chaplin, Steve Martin, like some of the pioneers, like way before our parents was even thought about, like when they were doing it like in the 50s and 60s. Like I go back and study those. A lot of people, and you go back to Red Fox too.
Yeah.
He would tell a lot of those little quick little joints, and they would be just false little narrative parables that he would just make up. You know what I mean? And I understand people appreciate those. My favorite part is telling my real life joints, and people are able to resonate with it. When I'm able to just tell my story and they like, yo, I know that you wasn't joking about that. And the fact that that was funny and you're able to bear that, like, yo, I resonate with that, like I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite feelings. But it is a tightrope you gotta find. And you never wanna get repetitive.
That's a real thing.
And people will tell you, especially black folks, they will tell you real quick, if they can finish your punchline before you, that's bad.
That's bad.
That's not good.
You are not funny.
That's good. Or they'll be like, nigga, that shit was funny the first 37 times I heard it.
Word.
But now it's like, you know what I mean? Like what more levels do you have? How many, what's your depth? So finding that balance, it's a tightrope you walk, but as you want to be better and get better, you find a duality between both of them elements.
That's a real thing, bro. Like, especially as a comedian, as some, I don't want to say like the local thing, but it's, you know, as you go through the chitlin circuit.
Yeah.
Is what I'll call it. As you
It's
go
real.
through the chitlin circuit, a lot of times you'll come across some of the same folks as you're doing your comedy, same with performing at shows. And it's like, damn, how do I continue to sharpen my tool while also giving them something fresh? Like, my set list don't change when I'm performing music because it's like, yo, I got to continue to get this off.
How do I make this better?
Comedy, you don't get the same luxury.
Nah.
Like,
Absolutely not.
I remember seeing Dave Chappelle, it was many years ago. He came into Wichita, and it was the same time he was on the Not Killing Me Softly, whatever joint came after that. Right, whatever stand-up joint came after that. And I remember when it came out, I was like, damn, I heard all of these jokes already. So it didn't hit the same. How do you navigate that in real time? Like, are you looking at the crowd like, okay, shit, I remember they was here, they was at the show last month, they was at the show last week, or is it like, yo, is it freestyling? Like, how do you keep that shit sharp?
Depending on who's coming, because I didn't have situations where like, because the ladies is gonna pull up more than the bros anyway. The ladies will tell you real quick, and they'll tell me, so I came to the last one last week. I'm coming to this one. Is it gonna be the same ones? Because if it is, you know what I mean, I can figure out something else to do. And you like, you don't want to lose. You want as many butts in the seats as you can.
So they asking you ahead of time, or why you at the show?
I've had people ask me ahead of time, yo, I came to your last joint. Niggas don't pull punches. I came to your last joint 2 weeks ago.
And he was on the same shit.
And this is before the joint. They're like, is you gonna be telling the same shit, or can I expect something different? Because if you're gonna be telling the same shit,
I'm not gonna be.
It's other shit I could be doing. And it's
Hold on,
like,
before you keep going, because you know we could talk forever. I gotta take a quick commercial break. We're gonna be right back. Don't go nowhere. You tuned in to Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David. It's just a conversation, and I hope you've been enjoying the conversation so far. Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David is a conversational interview series hosted by myself, where I sit down with various guests from various backgrounds, and we just have amazing conversation over different things going on in their world, the world, and things we want to see in the world, right? And these folks come from various backgrounds, from entertainers, athletes, corporate folks, entrepreneurs. I really can't say that word. Artists, creatives of the like, politics, just folks who have a great conversation to be had, a story to be told that will enhance and influence the likes of the folks listening. If you would love to be a sponsor on the Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David conversational series,
then give me a hit at BigSamMusic87@gmail.com. And let's talk. It's just a conversation. Back to the show.
As we talk observational comedy, freestyling, going off the crowd, niggas challenging you like you better not come with that same shit, right? Do you feel a responsibility to have social commentary, political commentary in your comedy as well, to address what's going on as a black man, right? To address what's going on in the world through your comedy?
No. I feel in this expression that we do, you shouldn't put any type of responsibility on except for to stay true to yourself.
Okay.
I feel that's the only responsibility I will put on any artist is to stay true to who you are and how you feel. And if you are true to yourself and how you feel, that political and social commentary is going to automatically come out.
Word.
That's going to automatically come out. Because me, I've found myself speaking on politics and like vivid like laws and bills being passed that affect me and my life and my community and my stand-up quickly. Yeah. And I love in those moments where I speak on it and it's funny and it lands and people will come to me, yo, like after on some serious shit, like, yo, that was funny, but yo, they really need to, like, we really need to get out here and make sure we voting on the midterms. Yeah, we really need to, folks need to understand how these little things affect us in a great, grand way. So I wouldn't put the responsibility of that on artists because some people, depending on what, like Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, he don't do politics. You know, Kev Hart, he don't do politics.
At all.
Cause you know what I mean? Once you get to that certain level, you may not want to be the Dave Chappelle. You may not want to be the martyr. You know what I mean? You may not, because it's a lot of power and responsibility to come with it. Compared to like Cowboys and the Indians, you don't want to be that first cowboy to go over there.
Can you even say that anymore?
Come on. Can I even use that example? Can I even use that example? Because the smartest ones is like, yo, the ones, yo, go over there and see what they talking about over there and come back. And then that cowboy come back like, yo, it's
Native Americans on that side.
It's a lot of native indigenous people over there. You know what I mean?
All that shit down.
So depending on what you're doing, they may not want to take on that. You know, they may not want to take on that responsibility. But I do hold every artist responsible to be true to themselves. Because if you're not, then what is you doing this for?
Come on, it's never gonna land. It's not, when it's not real life. It doesn't. It's not real. And I can also imagine as a comedian, like, people are going to laugh. They're pulling up to let go of the day, to let go of the stress of life. And unless your brand is rooted in like, okay, I know we about to have to think. I know we about to have a strong conversation while we also laugh. Like, some niggas don't want to sit through that. So that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Man, you know, I was watching the Issa Rae interview on the Drink Champs, which is one of my favorites. Shout out to my Virgo brother Nori. He don't know that's a nigga in real life. But they were asking her a similar question. And she was talking like, you know, and it's the same take that I have now. After most of my music has been rooted in like consciousness, social justice,
family,
black trauma, family as well, right? Family I'm gonna forever talk about. But Issa was explaining like, you know, niggas know what we dealing with. I don't want to preach to the choir. They know what's up. And I've taken that same thought myself. Like, man, I don't want to address black trauma. Time Don't Wait video, it's supposed to be continued. I didn't want to. Like, y'all niggas know what's up. Y'all know what we dealing with. Y'all know what we going through. So.
And you may revisit that later, depending on how you feeling. But right now, it go back to that. Yeah, y'all know what's going on.
Y'all know what's going on.
We all know what's going on.
Speaking of what's going on, so off camera, we got a guest. You got somebody with you, but I still have to ask this question because I hear you say it in your comedy a lot, respectfully. Your mama's friends. Is that rooted in observation, real life?
That's rooted in real life.
We part of that generation where mamas are a little younger, friends seen us grow up, right?
And glow up.
And
shout out my mama's friends.
Shout out to your mama's friends. You want me to just leave it there?
Shout out mama's friends to be trying to fuck with me on the low, but it's okay. It's all cool. It's all good. That's how you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's her taking away all of the fake auntie title, because we all got you know, the fake auntie, fake uncle, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
whatever, but it ain't blood, you know what I mean? And when you doing your thing and you making them feel some type of way,
Yeah.
they gon', you know, they may on,
It removes that part of the relationship.
yeah, and ladies are way more smooth and sly than we ever could be, like could be, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they able to put their own little joints on there, and you like, and that's where that observational come in, like, oh, you really proud of me, huh? Yeah, I bet you are pretty proud, huh? That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's hilarious. That's
You've been there. You've seen it.
I've seen it.
Y'all seen it.
Y'all seen it. I had to ask that one, man. So kind of shifting from comedy to acting, because you are a damn good actor,
I appreciate it, sir.
right? And not only do you take on comedic roles, but you also take on dramatic roles.
Yes, sir.
Right, real life roles. Where do you find more challenging? Where do you find more fun? And where do you feel like truly, it's 3 parts question. That's how I talk. I'm gonna ask the first 2 first. Where do you
I'm
find,
following you.
so the passion, the fun, and which one like really challenges your artistic side? Acting or stand-up comedy?
Comedy challenges me more.
Okay.
Because as an actor, I can get lost in this character. There's already this blueprint of this person that you already got laid out.
Yeah.
Going back to writing, like, it's a lot of power in writing. And you speaking to the writer or the director or the creator, like, okay, tell me what you want from this character. When
Right.
you look at it, okay, I can take that and I can apply everything that I have in me, everything that I know, everything in my memory. It's easier for me to just invest into that character and just embody that, as opposed to in stand-up, it's my character. And I'm the
Yeah.
director, I'm the performer. This whole thing is my movie, really. My stand-up, and when you see this, is my movie. And I'm the creator, director, editor, lead, all of that. And it's that challenges me a whole lot more than acting. Sometimes I find it more challenging to take on a comedic role, because folks have seen me that way, going back to what we done already seen.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you top that? How do you top what you did? How do you keep reinventing yourself in that light
Without acting like yourself.
without acting like myself? You know what I mean? In those comedic roles. So it's I find those to be a little more challenging than the drama.
Yeah.
The dramatic roles ain't easy either, because you got to tap into trauma. I don't think it's ironic that drama and trauma rhyme,
Yeah.
but in those elements too. But ironically, comedic roles are a little more challenging for me, because I'm just always trying to be better than what I was. But in drama, it's like you looking at me come from a completely different lens, so you can't necessarily critique me on that. You gotta
Be a little loose because there's no precedent.
yeah.
It's funny because I'm just with rap, right? When niggas send me, they be like, "Yo, I got this deep conscious joint I want you on." I hate it. I get it because that's how folks see me, but I'm like, all right, I've talked about all of this before. How can I make this that much cooler, that much more fly, that much more catchy, make it resonate? But you send me some shit that I can just bounce on.
Go crazy.
We're gonna have fun.
Exactly. So you automatically understand that analogy for sure. Yeah.
top.
It's not easy to keep on being greasy.
To keep on being greasy, man. Come
It's
on.
not easy.
So-
Shout out to OGs. That's how you know he was raised by uncles and pawpaws and shit.
It ain't easy being greasy.
You understand me?
So, what's been your favorite role that you've been in? From Memphis to Raisin in the Sun to Canaan to Unsurety to PPP Loan, and I'm sure there's more that I'm missing. Like, what's been your favorite role?
My
Your favorite character?
My favorite character in Journey probably would still be a Raisin in the Sun, because my first play I ever did in high school was a Raisin in the Sun,
Word.
and that was my first like acting debut. I'm 15. It's 2009. Empire State of Mind Blueprint 3 just came out
Yeah.
around them times. So I'm trying to apply this as a teenager, voice cracking, trying to figure out myself and my identity. And then I got the opportunity to do that play again last year,
Yeah.
where I'm understanding my role, my patriarchal role, You know what I mean? And understanding my responsibility and what I'm supposed to do as a man. And it's a little difficult when you don't have anything immediate models next to you to pattern that. So becoming that self-aware on a deeper level, that makes your characters better. When you understand that role, I understand my role deeper, so I understand this role deeper. So I got to do a monologue for Walter Lee Younger, the main character for Raisin In The Sun, if you ain't familiar. You remember the joint that Puff Daddy did?
I was just about to ask if who you felt was better at it, you or Puff, but keep going.
I mean, with the right amount of money and practice, I might give Puff. I'm giving, boy, I'm on Puff. I'm on your heels. I'm on your heels. Yeah. And so to be able to attack that a role and play in production I was familiar with 10 years later, and put my own joint on it, like it's like old white women coming up to me crying, like, finally understand what it's like to be a black man, and it's really hard in society. Oh my God! And you're like, damn, lady, a 7-minute monologue. That's what it took for you on this earth to understand. Whatever it takes, you know, it's what it takes.
It's been in the music, the news you watch, all of that.
It's been in the news. It's been in your face. So you know what I mean. So I would definitely say Walter Lee Younger, because in that play, these is back in the day. This in the 50s. He living with moms. He living with his wife. He living with his sister, son, all in the same house. Yeah. So you understanding his role and the patriarch, his pops just died at the beginning of it. Mm-hmm. So you got to take care of mom. You got to take care of wife. You got to take care of your son. You got to take care of your sister. Yeah. I can relate to all of that. Word. You know what I mean? Like, I just lost my papa 2020, the one who named me Juice. Yeah. You know what I mean? In 2020, me understanding my role took on a deeper meaning after my papa gone. I got to look after Granny, because Granny is still, you know, mothers have us young, so Granny is still outside. Niggas are still shooting their shot. Word. Look after moms, look after baby sis. I ain't got no kids yet, but all of that shit, I understand my role and all of that, but still at the same time, I still gotta make sure I'm straight. Word. And people don't understand heavy is the head. Listen. That wears the crown of all of it. I'm talking to a father of two, well, father of three, including the wife. You know what I'm saying? Father of two. Wife father of two, father of two right here. You know what I'm saying? So, like, understanding that role and still being a vessel. People look at you. People use you as a barometer. People use you as a lens. People sometimes just want to bounce shit off of you. Yo,
one of the illest things, and it was funny because I just seen it, not funny, haha, but I just seen it online, is that thought process of, like, as a man, you got to suffer in silence.
For real.
Right? Because all the things that you deal with, but that's such a false narrative. Yeah, because when you truly have a tribe, when your loved ones truly respect and understand the role you play, right? Now, you don't got to be there all the time, but there's an understanding and a respect of, like, okay, daddy kind of tired. Yeah. Right? And a lot of times, brothers, you may be in a relationship that's not the most productive, positive, or full of growth, that even allows you to have a human side, outside of strictly provider, protector, things like that. So, in Walter, what's it, Walter?
His name is Walter Lee Younger.
Walter Lee Younger, right? I think even in that play, like, he don't really let his guard down, right? And I love that it's rooted in so much family and having to be the one for the family. Yeah. Right? Because, again, sometimes the family might forget. I had Wakey, Ricardo Harris on the last episode, and we really dug deep into that conversation, especially as black men, like, yo, the shit that come with it. It's hard. It's hard. Real. It's not real, easy, right? Bro. So having that tribe, having that trusted place that you could vent and resolve. Yeah. I can be empathetic all day.
But that accountability. Yeah, that accountability is number two. And it encompasses everything. It's not easy, bro. It's real. We just make it look that way. We really do. That's a fact. They don't understand we make it look that way.
That's a fact. And I got to make sure that's not to take away nothing that black women provide in this world, because
the backbone.
I mean, it's even tougher for them.
Yeah. Right. And they got to sometimes suffer in even deeper level of silence than what we do.
Nobody has to suffer in silence.
Facts.
you choose to suffer in silence. You do not
Facts.
have to suffer in silence. There is support. There's different. Man, you're going to get me going. We ain't even here for that conversation.
We're not here for
we
that.
We don't have that conversation because it's a real thing.
But that was a direct question that like correlated into that directly. And of course, that's going to be, it's ironic, but not necessarily ironic that that's my favorite character because that is a perfect representation to help me deeper understand what my role is that I play. You know what I mean, in my family's life and those that depend on me. And it helps you understand your role, helps me understand, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And that all pours into each other.
So you're not a father?
Not yet.
After playing that role and embodying it, because you got to take on a lot to do it, do you think that equipped you to understand fatherhood a little more?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It definitely gave me some tools because I get practice, whole lot of practice now. And in moments like that, taking the gems and finding the nuances in that, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. I know I'm going to be a great pops one day. I know it ain't going to be easy. I know I ain't going to be perfect. I know I'm going to fall short. But I know when that happens, I'm going to be fire.
I truly believe that is the biggest blessing that any man can have is to become a father because it makes all of this shit not about you.
It ain't about you no more.
It ain't about you. But you ain't a pops. We ain't gonna get into that. So kind of keeping it in the role part, right? So one of the biggest, I think I could say one of the biggest things that come out of Wichita this last year and a half, PPP Loan.
Absolutely.
Movie went crazy viral.
Yeah.
Right. Perfect timing because niggas is PPP loans is getting hit up for. Y'all see the laws. So it's perfect timing.
You know what's
Shout out
going
to
on.
Devon Bray and the whole cast and crew of PPP Loan Gone.
Including him, because he's in it as well.
I'm in it too. I'll take that.
Detective.
And I caught COVID. It's crazy.
That's wild.
It's my first time getting written out of a movie.
That's crazy.
But I love it. So with PPP Loan going viral, you are the main character of that movie, right? It's centered around you being. What is your job? Like, what do you do at that job in PPP Loan?
Taxes. I help people with their taxes during the day. I do taxes and I do cuddling services.
And you do cuddling services.
Yeah.
How much of that movie was a reflection of real life, or did you just have to dig deep?
I did field research. You know what I mean? Did some field research.
Field or field? Is it double entendre?
That could be, absolutely double entendre. Okay. But like a field agent. You know what I mean?
Not a field agent, because a cuddler, but a field agent.
Facts. There was some fields in the field, and I did some field research on the cuddling. I definitely would pride myself on my abilities. My lady and some ex-ladies probably can definitely still attest. I'm a cuddling connoisseur.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I like that. So viral moments, especially in today, we know they can come and go. Right? Viral is like, everything can go viral, anything cannot go viral, but we know it's a come and go moment. Like, have you seen any change in your acting career, in your comedic space, even since PPP Loan has gone viral?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Positive, negative, like?
Definitely positive. Like with the comedic element, I love how that's in my credits. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
They got a list that when they bringing me to the stage, and that's super dope. And it's still growing. It's still like going viral again and again and again because it's still getting to know more people. And that's something that I bring to the table for my acting elements too. Yeah. So it's just all been beneficial. It just makes me look just more professional. Like, this ain't what I'm doing now, this isn't my first time. Like, I got this, 100. Like I've been doing it. So it just gives you a stronger pedigree when you step in certain rooms. So it's been awesome and led to other opportunities too. So it's been super, super dope.
I like that. Speaking of pedigree, speaking of resume, speaking of things folks got to list when they call you up.
Come on.
2022, BlackOut ICT, Comedian of the Year, award winner. Listen, I felt like I might have texted you too early. Because I text right after you won. And I was like, I got to at least wait till mom's texting to tell them that.
Because I wasn't even here.
There, right?
Oh, no. Actor of the Year.
Actor of the Year, my bad.
Actor of the Year. But still, there wasn't any.
Beep, beep.
I was an honorary Comedian of the Year, too. We can just kind of put that asterisk on there.
Come on, man.
But Actor of the Year, I wasn't able to. I got to flex right now. I wasn't able to be there to accept my award.
Talk that shit, keep on.
Because I was on set of a new Spy Kids movie in Austin, Texas, playing an assistant to actress Gina Rodriguez. You may have seen her You know what I mean? On
on.
Hulu and Netflix and shit.
Come on.
But I played an assistant to Gina Rodriguez in the new Spy Kids movie, and that was filmed in Austin, Texas, and that should be coming out probably around this time next year. So wasn't able to receive my trophy for Best Actor because I was acting on set, exercising that craft at that time. So shout out my mom, shout out my lady, shout out my sister, all there to hold me down. You know what I mean? So that was a crazy culminating moment to be getting that news while I'm on set, and people like, what's going on with you? I was like, I just won this, this little award, back home, whatever, for acting. And they're like, what? So I'm showing people, and people like bigging me up about it, like, nah, bro, that's something to be really, really, really proud of, bro. Like, that's incredible. And especially to be championed by your peers in your hometown. Like, that was an out-of-body experience. And that joint is Apollo style. That's the people vote for that. You know what I mean? So to get that dub is, oh man, I can't even put it into words. And my favorite thing that I get from people in that after that moment, they was like, this is well deserved. This is overdue. You always going, you always working. So it only makes sense that we was able to champion you in that aspect. So I forget about that because I wasn't there. Yeah. But yeah, that happened this year. Absolutely.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
I appreciate
amazing, man,
I appreciate that, man.
Like you said, it's dope to be recognized by the people, right? And because that's all a people driven award, right? The awards in general. And shout out to the ladies of the BlackOut ICT Awards.
Shout out all of them.
Renaissance. And we got
Ashley, Aaron, Paris. What's the other baby girl's name?
Ashley, Aaron, Paris,
Julie. Everybody involved, man.
They go crazy. So shout out to the BlackOut ICT Awards. I got to shout them out every single time I get a chance because, again, they are highlighting the dope shit we have in this city.
Yes.
And almost every episode I speak on the Wichita Renaissance and how we are moving things politically, artistically, entertainment, business. And shit is looking real beautiful here in the city.
Real. We got something to say. And we got moments with that, too. Like the first BlackOut ICT.
Yeah.
And I performed at, and I still hold that as one of my greatest, illest performances. That was one of the mic drop moments, and I just kind of had to ease up off of it because people was laughing so hard. But I'll never forget when you embraced me after that. You was that nigga, bro. You are incredible, man. And so my history with the BlackOut ICT is crazy. So that just made the moment even that much sweeter because when we did the other one, it was before the pandemic.
2019, yeah.
And we done been through a lot since then. So to still be...
What's dope about that year, because we both performed.
And you performed right after me.
I performed, right?
Yeah.
What was dope is because it's humbling, right? Because I didn't win Rapper of the Year.
I didn't win my year either.
And you didn't win your joint. However, you were in the building performing. And likewise, right? So it's just, again, right, like, it's two-sided because the people may not have voted for us to win. But the folks that were putting this thing,
powers that be,
recognizing the talent, they made sure, because they don't know the winners ahead of time, but they were like, yo.
And they could have asked anybody to perform.
Right.
And they asked us. So that's an honor in itself.
That's an honor in itself. Man, I love it.
Wisdom.
I'm trying to decide. I got a couple more questions I got to hit on.
Go ahead.
Right. But I'm going to take one more quick break. We're going to cut to a quick commercial, and we're going to be right back. Richmond Prince Beard Butter. Shout out to my dog JP from Richmond Prince, man. Listen, I'm on No Shave November from like 2009, right? I've been using Richmond Prince beard butter for like the last year. They were established 2021. I've been rocking with Richmond Prince since they were first established. And I tell you what, my joint connecting. Finally, my beard was not connecting, but now, baby, we connecting. No Beijing needed. See this Richmond Prince beard butter, which you can get at richmondprince.com, or you can look up Richmond Prince on IG, Facebook. This beard butter, the one I use is called the Pilot. And the ingredients are vegan and handcrafted, and it's all natural. No extras involved, right? And it's got grapeseed oil. I hope I say this one right. Candelilla wax, muru butter, shea butter, castor oil, vitamin E, black seed oil, and jojoba oil. The Pilot, 4 ounce, lasts a long time, man. Probably for me because my beard is still getting there, but we connecting. You see the vibes. And this beautiful care package I got from Richmond Prince also comes with the Pilot beard oil. And the quality seal, I love the quality seal on Richmond Prince because
The quality seal lets you know the company was created to aid in the growth of every king's journey to the best beard. And they are definitely aiding in my journey to the best beard. So shout out to Richmond Prince. Make sure you visit richmondprince.com to get your beard butter.
I had to take off. I had to miss one of the days of the play because I was doing Memphis that weekend.
Word.
And before we did it, they was like, yo, you got any dates, where you can't be here? And I was like, yo, I got to go perform at the BlackOut ICT. So I was in the middle of doing my acting and comedic thing. I had to take a break from that and then come and do it here.
Booked and busy.
Booked and busy. And then that next day, we was finishing the rest of the weekend from Memphis. So that was, I'm out here. I've been doing it for a minute.
You out here. You like that.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for a minute. And one of the things that I love, especially with our relationship, I cannot not say what's on my mind out of love, respectfully, right? And with humility. And I've been able to see you go from when you first started this thing to now. And I say it out loud because I told you in private. The growth, bananas, right? And I think that's a luxury of proximity, right? That's a luxury of staying true to you and continuing to do your thing, no matter what. Like you might, I don't even say bomb, but something might not hit, or you might learn a different way to communicate, or you may learn a different outfit to rock, right? Just those things that you learn along the way. And bro, your growth has been phenomenal.
I appreciate you, bro.
Right?
I appreciate you, man.
Like 21 Savage is one of my favorite rappers. 21 Savage first started, he was not that good of a rapper, right? But as you watch like the years and the continuing pouring into, continuing execution of this gift,
take it seriously.
You take it serious. The conversations have even changed, right, in the music, and the conversations on stage have changed for you, right? And it's just dope to be able to be your friend, to see this thing continue to grow and blossom, bro, in real life. I got a couple more questions I gotta ask.
Okay.
So you balance your professional career and your professional career.
They both have legs of their own.
They both have legs of their own.
For real.
That's a task. I do the same. Right? I got my I won't say 9-to-5 job, but my professional career as well as the extras.
I call that the Clark Kent. That's the Clark Kent joint.
Okay.
And we have our Superman.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
We got
underneath.
Clark Kent's and our Superman.
Yeah.
Now you had an incident at your previous situation. Right? And let me know if I'm going too far.
Oh, you good.
Right? And it could have got really dangerous and even more traumatic than it may have been. I don't want to speak on it. Can you share?
Absolutely.
We may have to go to commercial in between.
I was working at a certain financial institution.
Yeah.
And this is December 11, 2019. You don't forget shit like that.
Yeah.
I was helping this two white ladies, mother and daughter. I forget their name. The mom had like an oxygen tank, whatever. I'm helping them as a banker, a relationship banker, and this crazy old like alt-right Proud Boy white dude, this angry white dude just came in, guns blazing, tripping. I guess there was some kind of short on his deposit.
Literal guns blazing or like figures?
He did have a gun on him.
Okay.
That's why I have to use that kind of term. This older white dude just came in, tripping, causing a scene, screaming, mentally ill, as we find out after the fact, tripping about some shortage in his deposit. Now, granted, I don't do transactions on that side. I'm the guy that you come and sit down with. You remember and Set It Off, Blair Underwood, where he had his. I'm that guy.
You that guy.
You know what I mean? I'm not on the teller side. So I was that cat. You know what I mean? And this angry old white dude came in tripping, and it was just a 2-for-1 bang. He happened to be racist. So the first employee that he seen being a black businessman, so he was ready. Just whatever employee he was speaking to was just gonna catch the smoke. It was just one of the moments where like it wasn't no bringing him down, and it happened to be a younger black dude, so he just showed his ass. And me, I was trying to de-escalate the situation, trying to rectify, make sure I get him straight, get him what. He was so mad. It was one of the moments where it wasn't no talking to him.
Okay.
And I tried to de-escalate. Homie put his hands on me, hit me in the chest, and then it was that moment where I'm like, okay, I'm about to break character for a second, and risk losing my job. So what I did the respectful things. It's not my first time being hit in the chest, so I'm like, okay, relax. I should just ease back, hit the button, the panic button, call the police, had everybody up here. There needs to be a height requirement on police officers.
Okay.
Because I'm a whole 5'10".
Word.
It's not that tall. You know what I mean? But if like 50% of the task force is shorter than me, that don't make me feel that good about, you know, being protected and served. You know what I mean? I need you to be taller than me to be making me feel, you know what I mean? Okay. And they got homie side of the story. They was really giving him the benefit of the doubt. Really, I really feel if we got treated the way this white man got treated in a bank with a gun, wilding, the world would be a much better place. Like, while I was waiting on the police to get there, I come back to my desk. He's sitting at my desk, got his 357 on my desk, wilding, tripping, right? And my first time seeing 357, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm already knowing what time it is. So I just go back and I wait for the police to come. They're like, you want to press charges? Absolutely. They come, they detain him for a moment. They don't arrest him. He gets off on that. There was later litigations that came. And after the fact, you know, after all of that settled down, I went on a leave of absence. But I will say the good thing that happened to that, homie, he did get charged. He did end up going after the fact because he got into some other issues. He was just on a rampage of tripping with people. It got so deep to where this same old white dude, his own daughter called the police on him. What? This is how. So when you get in the context, going back to empathy, 100. Homie's out of it. It's a mental health crisis. He's gone. Yeah. He's gone. So it really wasn't me. It was whoever. It was just 2 for 1, and he don't like, you know, our kind. So you know, that was able to happen. But I will say, just moving forward at this particular bank here in Wichita, I'm the reason that they now have security guards in all of our branches now, because I'm talking to the head of security, my man in KC, in like the headquarters. I was like, yo, I've been telling you, shit has been getting dicey. 100. And he's like, oh, I'll work on it, man. I was like, nah, I'm not asking you to do nothing, man. I'm telling you now, this needs to come. And if you're not going to take care of this, I'm going to get to your supervisor, whatever. Next thing I know, now all of the branches for this particular bank, they now have security guards. Okay. And so that was, you know, turning that frown, you know, upside down. But, yeah, man, it was just wild out here.
It's wild out here. Traumatic situation, man. And it's wild because most traumatic situations, just from hearing you explain that even, most traumatic situations are rooted in previous trauma or mental health crisis, right? And I think that's something that's got to be addressed, right? So if you're out there struggling with mental health, man, get help. Listen to your peoples when they're trying to assist you.
For real.
So many resources and outlets, not only for the brother who was the white dude, the dude who was having a traumatic episode, but also after experienced trauma, right? We go a lot of times without addressing trauma and getting our shit resolved. Like, damn, this is why I jumped when the balloon is popped, right?
Because it's all reactionary. The trauma is how you respond to it.
You feel me?
You know what I mean?
It's a real thing. So I appreciate you sharing that story, and I'm hopeful that that bank continues to provide top flight security of the world.
Top flight security at the joints.
I don't think we've had that conversation in real life, so I just had to ask.
Yeah, man. That shit was wild, man.
That shit was wild. So, as we wrap up, I got a list of questions that I like to ask every guest.
Okay.
To close the show.
Come on.
My first one. What was your aha moment that affirmed to you, oh, this comedy and this acting shit is all mine. This is for me. This is what I'm here to do. What was that moment for you?
I say when I was headlining at the Kansas City Improv, the guy that I opened up for, this comedian that I opened up for when I first started, was now opening up for me. There's a comedian he's from Kansas City. I'd opened up for him. I was a feature for him years ago, like when I first started out here. I think probably 2014, 2015. And then fast forward to, I think this is 2019 as well. I was headlining at the KC Improv, and I noticed him. He didn't notice me. He didn't recognize me. I recognized him. I'm like, bro. Bigging him up, made his whole day. You could tell my man was kind of tired. He had been, you could tell he had a long day. Yeah. And afterwards, he was like, wow, man, I must have made like a hell of an effect. I was like, yeah, you don't forget, you know, people, you know, when you start out. And he was able to look at me for a moment. He remembered me for a second. He was like, you didn't have no facial hair when I seen you. He said, you didn't have a beard and you was a little bigger. He was like, so I see you out here. And that moment, and he just held me down in that weekend, you know what I'm saying? So, we was hanging out, kicking it. And he's like, the growth. It's like the growth, man. He's like, shout out to you and, keep doing what you're doing. He's like, it's not going to be easy. It's a marathon, you know what I mean? And so he was able to be proud in the moment and big me up in that same moment too. So that aha, that was a good aha moment. Like, okay, I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I say any of those moments where like, it's been a bunch of shows where like naysayers or people who thought I couldn't do it.
100.
You see them in the crowd of sold out, shows. I've had tons of those because I've been fortunate enough to sell out a lot of shows in Wichita, Kansas before the day of the show. Yeah. So, Sam's been there.
That's a real thing. Walk up city. That's a real thing.
Yeah. So it's been a ton of those, but ton of those like full circle moments. Yeah.
I like that. Full circle moments. So speaking of moments, what has been your most challenging moment as a man, as a black man, just as a man in general? What's been your most challenging, informative moment that really shaped who you are, the way you think, the way you move?
Understanding how my decisions affect others. Okay. And feeling that and receiving that in totality, because I'm so Adderall mode, like Kiss in the verses. Like when he's like, I'm in war mode, I'm in Adderall war mode, tunnel vision. I'm always like that in what I'm doing. Like I always try to just stay laser focused on what I'm doing and not let outside barriers get to me. But in those moments, you can get detached from other people and how your decisions affect them. Yeah. So that's been my greatest challenge in life, is just pausing to understand how my decisions affect those close to me and those who follow me. Yeah. Understanding that, because that's deep. You like, oh, wow. Like, oh, okay. I thought it was just about me. When you the headliner, when you in the front, you was like, oh, I thought, what I do doesn't affect you. Yeah. But no, it does. Because people paying attention. And you never know what barometer they holding you to. You never know how they could be. We all vessels.
100%.
We all vessels. And that vessel can be for good spirits, good vibes, or bad spirits and bad vibes. So whenever I pray, I pray for God to use me as a vessel, because you may come across somebody in life that may have never seen what Jesus looked like, what God looked like. And I pray that God uses me as a vessel in everything that I do. And hopefully whatever representation, however God is working through me, that can be a beacon of light to somebody. And understanding the power of how my decisions your decisions affect people. Factuals. Seriously, moment that you could thought was just completely solely selfish upon you, that can affect tons of people. Yes. Shout out to all of my people, because we coming up on we just passed the 1 year anniversary of that shooting at Enigma. Yeah. Store, club is closed down now, but I was in the building, family was in the building, and I know it's a ton of people probably watching this who was in the building or maybe been affected by that. So I just want to send my love out, to everybody like that, because homie made one decision that affected thousands of people, thousands of people's lives. I hate to use that negative example, but that's just an example. You know what I mean? Like your decisions affect a lot of people. So that's been my biggest challenge in life, and the biggest piece of humble pie I never had to take. Like, oh, so it's not about me all the time. So that's been my hardest joint as a man and as a black man, for sure.
I appreciate you sharing that. I appreciate you spending the time with me today. It's been a blessing. It's been amazing. I always love having conversation with you. The funny thing is, we could go for forever. We can go for hours. We can go forever just having conversations. We ain't even talk Jay-Z. We ain't even talk rap music. We ain't talk about
we haven't. Right. That's crazy. Is that all the questions?
That's all the questions I have.
Okay.
And I just got to tell you, I appreciate you and I value you, right? I value you as a friend, as a man, You really one of my guys in real life. My wife was like, I was telling her, I was like, yo, I got Key on my birthday. I'm gonna pull up and chat with him. She's like, I ain't know y'all talk like that. I was like, yeah, all the time. That's my guy. The updates come through.
My lady asked me the same thing. She was like, because as I'm picking up my joints, my gift for you, she like, oh, this is a friend.
Real life.
She like, you actually kept taking care, like paying attention to what you do. I was like, no, this is my guy. This is like for real. This ain't just an acquaintance.
No, this
like
is real love.
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time with me. I appreciate and I value and I love you, bro. Thank
Likewise.
you for your gift and being that vessel that challenges us to laugh, to enjoy this life thing, right? You really are one of those type of folks.
I appreciate you, man.
May God continue to bless you in the highest way.
Thank you.
May you continue to exercise your gift.
Thank you.
No, that sky ain't the limit. That shit's just the vantage point for where you're going next.
Come on.
I love you, bro.
Love you too.
The biggest life.
In real life.
In real life. Listen, it's been Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David. Y'all know the vibes. Listen, we have Mulberry Art Gallery. This is our new home. Shout out to Anthony Joyner and Dominique Joyner with Mulberry Art Gallery here in Wichita, Kansas, highlighting and showcasing some of the illest artwork from local artists, African American artists, Hispanic American artists. We just going up, man. And with that, QTTG.
Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. I talk to God, I'm up now. So high up, not coming down. So far gone, I'm ooh. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. Then I talk to God, I'm gone. Yeah, whole lot of learning, not perfect. Whole lot of living my purpose. No limits like Percy. My soul never for purchase. My mind never not working. My grind never not worth it. My time never no hurry. Learn from the hare and the tortoise. Gotta see clear through the vision. Catch a nigga slipping, they'll lynch him. Can't be worried about the mentions. Good weed easing all the tension. What you scared of? Tell me what you fearing. Real nigga, that's a new religion. God told me go get it. When the big homie talking, better listen. Big guy coming through big things. Left hand got the big ring. Life story on the big screen. Big wins for the big team. Been him 616. These are hymns, not 16s. Waking up, living big dreams. You know how that work. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. I talk to God, I'm up now. So high up, not coming down. So far gone, I'm ooh. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. And I talk to God, I'm zoning. Don't know if I'm coming home. Don't know if I'm coming home. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. And I talk to God, I'm up now. So far gone, not coming down. So far gone, can't see him. Sit back, relax, roll up a spliff. And I talk to God, I'm gone. Yeah.